My first punk rock show that I ever went to was, I saw The Five and Radio Hanoi at Chatham College. And the reason I got to go was an all-ages show. And all-ages shows were very rare here. If we went down to DC for 4 days, we could catch the Cramps and the Gun Club in '83. And that Sunday was this hardcore show. The Necros, the Meat Men, the Faith. Mind-blowing, life changer. First time I ever slam dance, stage dive, worked my way up, dove. They passed me back. I'm like, this is great. Nothing like that was going on in Pittsburgh. I mean, you'd get some people bumping into each other or something, but it was never like this whole full-blown hardcore thing. And my mind was blown. And when I came back, I'm like, man, we're starting a band. That's what you should call it, Real Enemy. We have a hardcore band. When hardcore bands come to town, we get to play with them. This is it. We gotta just record some of our songs, So we did it, and then we recorded it. There was a dog-eared dictionary. And I remember opening it, it's Mind Cure. Have you ever looked it up? Mind Cure Records. And everyone was like, the reactions from everybody else ranged from, that sounds good to, well, we're out of time. May as well. There was some enthusiasm for it and some, it met with it, it didn't matter. It was like, who cares? Real Enemy, Life with the Enemy, Mind Cure Records.
I know there was the Steve Heineman cassette, Breathing Exercises, and it was on Mind Cure.
That was stuff he recorded by himself. He got a 4-track, and he would record like a drum track, a bass, and then he would put it together, and he mixed it himself.
Mike told me the story was that he didn't know about it until he saw it. It was a real thing, and it was a release on Mind Cure. And the first Mike knew about it was when he saw one.
There's a good year where nothing comes out on Mind Cure. So when we do the Half-Life record years later, we were very much trying to make a record, but didn't know how to put out a record. And that's why it's a tape.
It'll be on Mind Cure, but whoever wanted it to come out, they kind of had to do the legwork. Like Savage Muse probably really did all the work to get their cassette to make it real.
I think Mike approached.
Well, I'll put it on Mind Cure. And I didn't pay for it. Bill Morris did.
Let's do this. Let's put it on Mind Cure. Keep the label going. Maybe it'll go somewhere.
And in my mind, I'm like, okay, we're building a scene.
Once Mike, did Under the Knife, it was much more of a real, legitimate thing.
We're just playing live in studio, but it's like legit enough to press the record. And we literally had to figure out how to do it and all that. And, it was like Discmasters, send Calla, here's how you make your, we sent them the, and all that. And then, we got Paul Butcherelli to do the cover and all that.
The Half-Life, What's Left cassette, I think it was just like, okay, we've got another cassette. Well, it's a Mind Cure release.
So it's like, what's right, what's left? I'm trying to be clever and failing apparently. It was recorded at San Luis Obispo. We were on tour. And they were like, it was a pro studio. I mean, it was it was full headphones, booth, mixing board, separation, like Mike the hi-hat, Mike the snare, Mike the kick, real, that's why that sounds like, enormous. I borrowed money from my future in-laws to record Never Give In. But there were 2 extra songs, which were I Got It Bad and Any Good and our cover of Come On Everybody. So I said, single, we'll do another single. And I Got It Bad and Any Good, it doesn't fit on Never Give In at all. So that's why there's a second Half-Life single. I was constantly looking for who's the band. I liked you guys because I didn't think you sounded like anybody else. So the Battered Citizens, when I first became aware of them, I was just thrilled that we had a young, good band.
Brian Brick was such an overblown personality, even at such a young age, that it was undeniable. Within 5 minutes of meeting him, you were like, who is this kid? And you're like, he's amazing. Amazing in a way that he could have been saying the stupidest, most asinine thing, but it was still like all eyes were on him. He just had that.
We absolutely have to record them.
Somebody said in rehearsal that we were going to do a demo tape and that you were our producer.
You got to record it the same place they recorded their tape. And I was like, oh, it's going to sound like What's Right? Yeah!
And Battered Citizens were like our little brothers.
It made the band way more legitimate.
It's me saying, here's how you make a record. We'll put it out. We'll put out a tape. And that's all I ever wanted was that, learn and help and just keep passing it on.